Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about The Brutalist. It's a 2024 drama slash period piece directed by Brandy Corbett. He hasn't done anything super significant, well at least nothing I've heard of. The acting talent includes Adrien Brody, Felicity Jones and Guy Pearce. Adrien Brody was in King Kong. I have done a review of that, link in the description. He's also done The Pianist, which is also a period piece. That one looks super interesting. I do want to watch that. Felicity Jones, you can find in Rogue One. Guy Pearce, I can't recognize anything crazy yet. Wink, wink. But he was in Neighbours, and it's just something I noticed. Neighbours has aired since 1985 with 41 seasons. We'll get to that. That's another topic. How the fuck can a series run that long? That's crazy. So what's the movie about? Well, I'm going to say this right off the bat. It's too long. 3 hours and 15 minutes. It's not worth it. I'm just saying this right now. It's not worth it. I'm not saying the movie's bad. It's just not supposed to be that long. You can really trim this movie down a lot, and it'll still be just as good, I promise. The movie splits itself into 2 parts, but for the sake of this review, I'm going to split it into each hour. So 3 parts, hour 1, hour 2, and hour 3. I guess hour 3, I'm going to just round off the 15 minutes because it's long as shit, trust me. Hour number 1. After definitely a perfectly normal interview, the movie kicks off with a nice long shot. I will give this movie credits. Some of the shots are really nice, including this long shot in the beginning. Laszlo Toth travels to America to find work. An old friend offers him a room until he's up on his feet. He makes some furniture in an unnecessarily cool montage. Can I just say, this is the best fucking scene in the movie. It's so good. This is the scene that's on most of the covers. A man comes in and asks him to build a library for his father, casually. His name is Harrison. Here we learn Laszlo is an architect, and he was famous in another country. Then comes a betrayal. Harrison flipped out and won't pay for the library, and his friend hates him and framed him for making moves on his wife. Long story. Laszlo moves on and gets a job shoveling coal and gets addicted to heroin, as you do. And Harrison comes back to praise him for his work on the library. Turns out it was one big misunderstanding. Hour number 2. By the way, that was all 1 hour. Do you see the problem here? This is like the first 10 to 20 minutes of a normal movie, but this is the first hour of The Brutalist. Yeah, they really take their time. Anyway, hour number 2. Laszlo attends a fancy party at the Harrison's house because now Harrison likes him. Thanks for the library, bro. Let's everyone look at this library Laszlo's made. It turns out Harrison wants to hire Laszlo to build a community center. I don't know if you have community centers where you live. Basically, it's like a mall. That's how big these things are, okay? Right, we've hit the halfway point according to the movie. There's a 1-minute intermission. I will explain how stupid a full 1-minute intermission is later. Listen, I get the vibes, but no, alright? Intermission over, his wife finally arrives in America and she has fucking osteoporosis. Because of course she does. Laszlo mentions the wife a few times that, my wife is coming, all these things. Oh yeah, that's hour 2 done. Are you getting the picture? So Laszlo attends the fancy party. Harrison asks him to build the community center and his wife arrives. That is all that happens in an hour. I promise you are not missing anything. Hour 3 is actually bulk of the movie. Wife in a wheelchair. I called her wife in a wheelchair. Why? Laszlo's wife wakes up one night screaming in a lot of pain, and I'm assuming it's osteoporosis. There's some drama. There was an accident with one of their trains. It put 2 people in the hospital. Harrison freaks out and calls the whole project off. Okay, cool. Time jump. Many years have passed and Laszlo gets called back to the project. Laszlo takes Harrison to Italy to find a rock to put in the community center. This is where Harrison allegedly essays Laszlo. I don't remember it. They kind of I think Laszlo is wasted and Harrison crawls up to him or goes down. It looks like he's rummaging in his pockets. I couldn't tell. It didn't look like anything. Laszlo is now an overbearing workaholic. Suddenly, I promise this didn't build up, he slowly became worse and worse. He just is weird now. He fires one of his closest friends and he doesn't give his wife attention anymore. His wife is now in a lot of pain. One night, they run out of medication, so he gives her some of his heroin. Okay, cool. She overdoses, obviously. Nice one, Laszlo. Who would have seen that coming, huh? The wife recovers. The wife, or I think it's the daughter, she accuses Harrison of essaying Laszlo, and she does this in front of friends and co-workers. And then they kind of drag her out. How could you say that? And then Harrison disappears. And it's not clear what happened to him, but I'm assuming he just committed suicide. Epilogue. Fast forward to the modern day. Laszlo is now a successful and revered architect. He has his own exhibits. And right at the end, it cuts to the very first scene with the interview thingy. And then it just ends. Quick thing, the whole interview, the first and the last scene, that's not explained. I don't know what's going on there. Right. So, the glaring issue is the runtime. The version I had was 3 hours and 15 minutes. Google said it was 3 hours and 30 minutes. That is way too long for all of the nothingness that happens. The only character development happens at the end of the movie, around 2 hours 45 during the third hour. Then something happens. It's weird. Show something during the movie. You have a lot of time to actually develop this. In the very beginning, he gets fired from his job, but he gets called back because now he's suddenly a popular architect overseas. That could have been totally avoided. All the drama about the project being cancelled was pointless because Laszlo gets called back anyway. So lots of back and forth for nothing, seemingly to just make the movie long for no reason. Honestly, I think it could have been cut in half, and it still would have been great. The characters are interesting. I want to see what happens to them. Don't think I forgot about that intermission in the middle. I said I would mention it. It counted down the full minute of silence and a still image. What a complete and utter waste of my time. That's ridiculous. That's like almost disrespectful. For a movie to be 3 hours and 15 minutes and have a full minute of nothing. Not it had like what, music? A little bit of music, I think, or it had nothing. I need to go look again, but completely pointless. What a waste. Another terrible thing is all the nudity and sex scenes. It's super unnecessary. This is about an architect, and yeah, he has a relationship with his wife, but does not need to. I didn't like any of them at all. Not even romantic and meaningful sex scenes. Like, we know Laszlo has a wife. You don't need to put it in. It's just uncomfortable sometimes. I don't like it. Another negative, the volume levels have the same problem as all these modern action movies. It's super loud during montages and extremely soft during some of the dialogue. That is really annoying to me. Not all is bad though, I promise. The shots are amazing all around the board. Every single scene, there's something really nice to look at. There's that long shot in the beginning. Massive establishing shots of an entire field. Nice silhouettes. So they know what they're doing. Same with the music. It is so good. It fits all the scenes perfectly. Epic music during the building montages where he builds the thingy, that best scene that I was talking about. Amazing. Sweet little symphonies for cute little moments. Modern sounding music when the epilogue at the end rolls around. It's perfect. So with all that being said, I give this movie a 7 out of 10. The movie is visually stunning. The music complements everything. But the runtime is such a massive blow to this movie. I couldn't believe it was this long. I waited for it to get good because I trusted this movie, and it never did. So if there's a director's cut where they took out half of the movie, hour and a half, I'll probably rate it a 9 because it's good. It's just, I can watch 2 brilliant movies in the span of this mediocre one. Sorry. So the main character gets addicted to what looks like heroin. I'm not 100% sure. They don't mention, hey, this is heroin. Here you go. But I talked to my girlfriend about it, and she said, it's probably morphine. And I looked up, and it was heroin in the end. But that raises a good question. You can make it like a mystery drug. You don't have to be obvious about it. I guess it could be a mystery, but why make it a mystery? I understand morphine during that time was a popular drug during the war, but it is what it is. Drugs are drugs. Sex sells, which is why they put it in this movie, by the way. Disappointing. Kind of disappointing. Good movie, though. I wouldn't recommend it. Watch other movies, because this one's too long. Anyway, enough yapping. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.